So we will describe at a high level the key planning processes that can be performed in Oracle Supply Planning Cloud. So this is the process flow. If you see, right from the prediction, then aligning it, and then responding it as a whole of a business cycle, wherein you will see all the 4 products which we have talked about, somewhere it has been catered, and we have talked about that. Right from forecast to demand, managing safety stock, aligning the business plans, plan component and metal requirement, plan capacity, and execute the plan recommendations from the planning working bench, so that when you release the plan orders, it goes and sits into your execution systems for the respective work order, requisitions, or a transfer order. From the production perspective, which is predict, your demand management model comes into picture. And if you have a demand history, based on that demand history, we can generate a statistical forecast. With the use of sales and operations planning, we can align your forecasting and all the demand picture. And with the use of your supply plan, once your demand schedule has taken as an input for your supply plan can suggest you different supplies which has to be created new, needs to be cancelled, need to be rescheduled out, need to be rescheduled, and accordingly it will just respond to all those demand schedules as per the data which got collected in your system. And if you use this entire supply chain planning cloud process, you will see that it has given you a lot of benefits, like it improves the customer service, it increases the margins, it reduces the inventory investments, and it also minimizes supply disruptions. Now, coming to the planning central as such, so what exactly you can do as planning central as whole? Within the plan, you can view different KPIs, you can monitor them, and you can even respond them. Right from the planning central, right from end to end, if you see, you can plan it, you can monitor, meaning you can analyze all your data both from the demand and supply side, and then once you are convinced with whatever supplies has been suggested, and if you want to do any simulations changing any of the demand and supply pictures, or changing any of the attributes, and again rerun the plan. So once you're okay with whatever, or you're fine with whatever solutions has been given, after doing the changes to supplies or demand if required, or otherwise you can directly just go ahead and respond to that particular supply suggested by them. So this also includes the enhancing product availability. As I said, it reduces the disruptions and the cost, and it also improves the end-to-end supply chain efficiency. If you see the demand management part, so you should have a tool which can predict better. No one can predict anything to 100%, right? But you should have a tool which can predict at least near to the reality. It cannot be the reality, but the prediction, the name itself says it's just a prediction. So how best the history which has collected with you at what level, and what trends explains that, and if you can understand that history in a proper way where it has gone collected and all that, then you can absolutely predict. There are a lot of algorithms available which can predict to the reality, near to the reality. I will not say real, but near to the reality. So the sensing, the prediction, and then shape it. So if you see as a whole, this basically improves the demand visibility, managing the demand variability, and achieving the business objects. If you see the visibility part, it's manage multiple demand signals, analyze inherent behavior and demand changes, captures business insights both quantitatively and qualitatively. And if you see the variability part, you can generate accurate statistical forecast. Okay, and you can also forecast for configured order products along with the standard products, and you can analyze forecast accuracy and investigate any root causes if you see there is a flaw in that. And once that is done, you can then achieve the business objects like if a new product has to be introduced, you can improve new product forecast, simulate forecast scenarios to make confident decisions, and then synchronize cross-functional demand plans. So all this is possible through your demand management. So it's pretty better. Coming to aligning with the enterprise. So if you want to use this, then SNOP is going to support you or help you with aligning with the enterprise. So if you see this, SNOP basically is a periodic process, typically monthly, and for closing the gap between a company's operational plan and its business and financial targets, right? So every company have its own operational plans, it has its own budget and all that. So just make sure that everything is in place and there is no gaps between any of these departments. So if you see the SNOP solution, it also facilitates this process by giving you the capability to analyze your performance, align with the enterprise, and act to create and execute new plans. So first and foremost, how it starts is just starts with analyzing how your plan performance with respect to measure such as your forecast demand, manufacturing output, and profits compares with your target performance. And SNOP offers a rich set of best practices dashboards. You can see what kind of dashboards are available over here, and these are all out of box layouts, certain reports to analyze your performance and then identify the gaps, and you can use these as is or configure them to meet your needs. And during this course, so once you have analyzed it and then trying to analyze it, during this course you will also be collaborating with cross-functional team to carry out the steps of process and align everyone with respect to where the performance gaps are and how to resolve them, right? You don't work in silos, rather you collaborate with all the stakeholders and then take a quantitative decision. And SNOP also provides process management functionality, and social collaboration feature is anyway embedded part of this to get everyone on the same page, right? And it helps in closing the gaps and allows you to create new products, new product demands, and also helps in supply plans and execute on these plans by linking them with Oracle's tactical planning systems, right? So analyze, align, and then act on that. Coming to your supply planning. So respond to changes faster. So plan in real time, monitor and prioritize the problem areas, and evaluate and execute the best actions. So you will see with the use of different KPIs or info tiles, you can see the overall health of the plan, where the targets are, how my plan is performing and all that, and you can just monitor each and every KPI, or also called as info tiles. With the help of info tiles, you can develop different KPIs and monitor them, and then if you feel there are certain changes to be done, or it may also possible that in an ongoing business every now and then there are a lot of supplies and demands distribution, right? Disruption will be there. Suddenly ad hoc demand has come, or suddenly you found that some of the supply is not going to arrive in time. So due to this, there will be a big noise in the overall picture. So then when you know that you have to ramp up the production, or the demand forecast has been increased because sales team has given some commitment, okay, which a manufacturing department doesn't know. So if you increase the demand now, what will happen to the supply picture, which is as of today, okay? And similarly, if you change the supply picture, what will happen to my demand picture? So similarly, you can, as a planner, you can do all these tweaks, changing or modifying the supplies and demands, and again rerunning the plan in the simulation mode till the point you are convinced and you have taken consensus from all the different stakeholders from the supply side as well. The from the manufacturing supervisor, the buyers, the inventory managers, from everyone. If anything has to be expedited, you have taken the consensus from them and then have changed the things accordingly. And then once the things are stabilized, then you can release them or you can respond to this plan order so that this just gets converted into respective documents in your executional systems. Now, coming to the planning business flows, common services, for example, data collections. Data collection, we have a detailed session on this, a complete session meant or complete lesson meant only for data collection, wherein we will see in detail about the data collection. But here you can just see that master data, you collect the master data and all your transactional data. Okay, so either you can collect all this or take this data through the CSV from some third-party external ERP systems from the flat files. You can take all of them and use it in your planning cloud. Or if you have all the other products also on cloud, like your product model, your inventory, your purchasing, your order management, everything, manufacturing, everything is on cloud. Okay, so you can see over here, if everything is in cloud, then it's just mere source system. Automatically everything gets collected. You have to just select the source system as this, then everything gets collected over here, and whatever additional arguments are there, like your financial forecast or causal factors and all that, you can load it. That's all. Okay, so the two ways of loading the collected data or data, either from the flat files from any third-party ERP systems, okay, or directly from all your SCM cloud applications. So, but in detail we will see in the lesson which we have planned for. So here, if you see from the master data perspective, we will collect all your items, all your item structures, your routings, your unit of measures, okay, cost, everything will collect. And from the demand perspective, obviously you know all your demand from the form of sales orders and shipment things, you will load it for the demand picture. And from the supply side, you can load it all your purchase requisitions, purchase orders, your on hands, and your manufacturing orders, right? All that supplies you can load it from the supply side. So in detail, though we will talk in our data collection specific lesson. So this is what you can expect. So now in the entire course or this workshop, we have certain data which we have already created in the system, which we'll be using for our basic demos. So what we have done is, we have one organization, we have defined certain organizations, and 003 is the organization code and name as Chicago Distribution Center, wherein you will see all your forecast and sales orders. This is where your demands will be there. Okay. Then you have 002 is an organization code, and Atlanta is the organization name for tablet manufacturing. Okay. This is the manufacturing unit where your tablets are getting tablet as a product, right, is getting manufactured, and all the components which are required to produce that are coming from one supplier called Midtown Computer Supplies. We have another organization 005, Dallas Subassembly Manufacturing. So all the subassemblies which are required to produce this particular tablet are produced over in Dallas organization, and the components required for this are getting supplied from your supplier Midtown Computer Supplies. So there you have a transfer rule, here also you have a transfer rule, here you have a buy rule, here you have a buy from rule. Fine. Apart from these organizations, you also have a master organization called operations. The name of the master organization is operations, and the code is 000, wherein we don't do any transactions or a master organization. As you know, the transactions are done only at the inventory organization level, because these are just detailed organizations. Master organization is more of an logical organization, only where your items are defined but you don't do any transactions as such. And 001, Seattle server manufacturing organization. 004, Boise, a contract manufacturing organization. And D-ship is the code of an organization for drop shipment. And here you can see the product details which we have. So we have all these products already defined in the system. These are the end products, item number, to which class it belongs, what is the description, and the plan to produce products. We have AS475100, and for which we have a demand also, and AS475200, there is another product for which we don't have a demand. And these are all the sub-assemblies which have been defined in your 005 organization. These products are defined in 002 organization. And these are the components for each and every product which we are using. So you can see the component name, the description, and the class to which it belongs to. And for this particular product, AS475100, which is in 002 organization, this is the complete structure for that. You can say bill of material for that particular product. And then you also have a work definition created or defined for those products, wherein you have your routing and structure together put in a single page, which is called as a work definition. So the complete process to produce something, to produce a particular product, your routing details as well as your structure details, which is nothing but your work definition. We have also defined that in the system. Now coming to the integration part, how this supply chain planning cloud, it is integrated orchestration and execution with Oracle SCM Cloud, and it is open to other systems as well. So if you see this, so many companies today are transitioning their enterprise solution to the cloud, right? So supply chain planning cloud modules can enable a completely integrated planning and execution environment in the cloud, which is in conjunction with other execution modules from supply chain management and Fusion ERP Cloud. So if you have something on-premise also, you can just integrate that. So this course touches upon the integration that Planning Central has with order management, with manufacturing. Your material management is nothing but your inventory, your procurement, and there are many other Oracle Cloud applications as well, like your financials and other stuff, quality, asset management and all that. Well, though from the asset management and quality, nothing is there as of today from the planning perspective, but there might be some other applications as well. So you can also deploy supply chain planning cloud with integrated with non-cloud execution systems. Okay, and when we say non-cloud execution system, we will see that how it is supported. So this is the deployment of supply chain planning cloud. These are the three ways, by and large, wherein you can make your planning cloud exist. First is complete transformation. So here implementation happens in a single instance for entire corporation, and all users move to the new system on a given date. And in the corporate ERP and supply chain application. So if you see here, your financials, your SCM, including your supply chain planning, and everything, ERP, SCM Cloud, everything is in cloud. So all planning and execution is in cloud. Pretty simple, complete transformation. Now there is a situation where innovate at the edge, where you can have the coexistence of your planning system. So you have your order management and supply chain planning on cloud, and all other things, any other ERP is on-premise. So only OMM planning moves to the cloud. All fulfillment execution remains on the premise, right? So to give an analysis or expression for this is, in the case of innovate at the edge, where else talking about the coexistence, you can use order management and GOP, because these two are on the cloud, okay, to orchestrate the orders between the different fulfillment systems, and use supply chain planning cloud to plan for the fulfillment of these orders. And it is integrated using file-based data integration, your flat file CSV integrations, and slowly move execution to the cloud. And the third one is your divisional modernization or mixed ERP by mixed ERP or SCM. So in this, if you see, the execution system remains as is, okay, and optionally a small portion of the business or division, etc., moves entirely to the cloud, okay, only little part, and all planning is in the cloud using your FBDIs or your file-based direct integration, flat file CSV integration. All those integration is based on this. Okay, so here see only cloud, only planning. Here if you see, only supply chain planning is on cloud, or everything is on your heterogeneous execution. Okay, all little bit you can put it on ERP, or little bit of SM is on cloud, and other things are all on your heterogeneous execution. One thing which you have to keep notice, whenever there is a cross instance planning, okay, that is planning for situations where there are inventory movements between different ERP instance, such kind of scenarios are not supported. So this was the overview. What are the limitations? What are the expectations? And one more major thing, important thing which I want to add over here is about the constraint and unconstrained planning. So even in release 13, the plans which we have are under unconstrained. We don't have any constraint planning as such as of today. So let's go into the system for a moment, and let's see how Planning Central look like. Okay, so once you log in into the system, so hope everyone knows how to log into the system. You might have attended your SCM Foundation course. So once you log in into the system, based on the roles you have, you can see all these icons. These are nothing but the application to which you have access to. This is your username, okay, to which you have login, and now we are into supply chain planning. So if you click on supply chain planning, within supply chain planning, you can see you have plan inputs where all your collected data resides, your demand management, your demand and supply planning, Planning Central, sales and operations planning. And this order promising is for your GOP, global order promise, for the order management. So these are the different products within your supply chain planning, right? So let's go to Planning Central, because we are talking about the foundation. So let's go into the Planning Central, and so once you are into the Planning Central, once you open that, whatever plan you are referring to, okay, so that you can see this is an integrated demand and supply plan. So this is a plan summary, this is a plan name, okay, and the data which you see over here is in the context of the plan which you are referring to. And each and every box over here you see, these are called info tiles. The technical name is info tile, but you can call them, as from the business perspective, you can call them as the KPIs, right? The revenue and margin KPI, the forecast comparison KPI, the shipment forecast map, the inward returns, demand and risk in thousands, risk and exceptions. So these are all the different KPIs which can help me to see the overall health of the plan, right? And there are many info tiles or KPIs already in the system. You can use them, or you can even define your own KPI. Now, when I open a particular plan, so on the top you can see the plan name, what plan I'm referring to, and then the page layout. This page layout, along with the product, we also ship this particular page layout, plan summary, and this plan summary is having all this KPIs intact. If you want to create your own plan summary, you can create that. Okay. These are the different page layouts available out of box. So you can leverage this, use this, or if you want to see your own KPI of data, own color combinations, own set of data, you can just go ahead and create your own particular plan summary and view the data. And every KPI when you select, the moment you select that, it will be highlighted, and whatever information is there will be highlighted in the lower section. So I can see the revenue by period, right? On the x-axis you have the period, on the y-axis you have the value. Similarly, the forecast comparison, if I select that, that will get highlighted, and whatever information is there within that particular info tile or KPI, I can see that. So there are two graphs. One graph is forecast comparison by period and forecast comparison by product category. In the x-axis I have the period, and on the y-axis I have the value. In this particular graph, on the x-axis I have the categories, and on the y-axis I have the values, right? And each and every blue icons and gray icons, you can see this is a normal graph, is represented. Blue indicates sales forecast, green indicates final shipment forecast and all that. And this is not just the values. If I hover my mouse or keep my mouse over there, I can see the data as well. From here, if I want to go and see some more data, you can just say right click on that, drill to, and I can go and see items or other details as well. All these things are seeded one which has been configured. You can utilize that, or you can even make your own data with all these concepts, from one table to another table, from one graph to another graph, and all that stuff you can make it. And how do I want to see the graph? It should be in a pie chart way, it should be a linear graph, historic graph. Everything is possible over here, right? And by and large, for a particular tile, you can have maximum 4 objects over here, either 4 tables or 4 graphs, or a combination of a table or graph. Maximum you can have 4 objects within a particular tile. Similarly, shipment forecast. Okay, so anyway, when we have our configurable workbench session, I will be talking about these outputs in detail. Okay, so this is how it looks like. Then you have the taskbar on the right side. So here you can define your plan, you can collect the data, load planning data files, assignment sets, everything you can do it. These are the different tasks available. You can configure exception sets, configure exceptions, manage demand classes, manage planning measures, everything you can do that. And on the top, these are called my global icons. As you know, this is the navigator. Fine. And what else? Yeah. So once we come to the supply plan, we will see how to even release those plans. So this is about your overview of Planning Central, how things look like and what are the limitations within the Planning Central foundation.